If you are constantly suffering from pain in your feet, the chances are you may be wearing the wrong size shoe.
So this morning we're helping put an end to shoe shopping failures. We are joined by Dr. Saeed Atway from the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center. Good morning, Dr. Atway. Thank you for being here.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Good morning. All right, let's start first of all with how has actually shoe sizes changed over the past 40 years or so?
Sure. They've gotten larger. So we as a population are taller, a little bit heavier. That in turn leads to a proportionately longer foot. And then that same size, that same weight on an arch can cause it to collapse. So that in turn leaves for a longer foot.
So, okay, you're always supposed to measure your foot when you go to the store. And I feel like all the shoes kind of fit differently. You know, you don't know which one to get. What would you recommend is the best way to measure your feet so you're not getting one that's too narrow or too long? What's the best?
So there's something called a Brannock device out there. It's kind of outdated, but at the same time, that's probably the best thing to use. Get measured with that. Go to a specialty shoe store where they know how to use it. They have it there.
That's that metal.
Is that metal device?
Thing that you stand on,
right?
Right. Okay.
And exactly, and stand on that. Don't just sit at a seat and see how your foot feels or what the size is. You need to stand, see how your foot expands, and then take that measurement from there. Or the person there should take that measurement.
And does it depend on what part of the day or what time of the day you get your foot measured to?
Absolutely. Towards the end of the day, your foot expands, your toes splay out, your foot splays out, and then you have a little bit of swelling to accommodate for as well.
How much space should you leave, you know, between the edge of the shoe and your foot?
Typically recommend about a ½ inch or maybe half a thumb size through the tip.
Okay.
So you want to, same idea, you want to allow for your toe to expand, and that's in a standing position.
That's interesting. You don't think about your feet expanding throughout the day, but that makes total sense. Yeah.
No, and if you do have the wrong size shoe, then what can that do for you? Besides maybe your foot hurts, but
sure.
What does it mean?
Yeah, you have that generalized ache like you talked about, but then that same pressure on your toes can lead to corns, calluses, blisters, and then from there, you're talking about over time, a toe that can contract, lead to a hammer toe, or exacerbate something like a hammer toe or a bunion.
Well, and there are so many different styles of shoes. We brought some examples in.
Wow.
Tell us a little bit about these different shoe styles and what benefits or challenges they can present.
Sure. When you this time of year, you're talking about your flip-flops. Something like that doesn't allow for much of an arch support, so a really flattened out foot that gets no arch support throughout the day. If you're walking for a long period of time, zoo, any type of activity throughout the day, that can really have ill effects on your arch, heel pain, things like that.
So should you then not wear flip-flops or just limit the
For
amount
long
of
periods
time?
of walking, probably
I'd
not.
say
Okay.
long periods, yeah. So I can't say any one of these I'm going to say don't ever wear them because I wouldn't have much of a practice if I did that. But I'd say if you want to limit the amount of time you're wearing something like that, that's probably the ideal thing to do.
Okay, well, what about some of the other examples that you brought here?
Same thing, a ballet flat over in the corner there.
Over here, those right there.
Doesn't have much of an arch support. That's a flat shoe. If you're walking a long period of time, that can lead to some same arch fatigue. A high-heeled shoe.
Now that has arch support.
That does have arch support. Yeah, that's it. Over time, I mean, that's putting a lot of pressure on the front of your foot, contracting your Achilles. I mean, that Achilles isn't ever relaxed or stretched out. If you stay in that for a long period of time, you could end up with problems in your ankle instability, and then Achilles and heel problems.
Now, real quick, these have been a big trend. These free running or free whatever, where you're actually mimicking your feet. Tell us about those.
So that minimalist style, I mean, it's great if you can work yourself into it, and I understand the theory behind it, but for your average runner that's going to go out and throw those on and try to go for several miles, you really need to work yourself up to that. Can lead to problems like a stress fracture, neuroma, tight fitting shoes, or unsupported shoe like that over a period of time.
Yeah, I haven't been able to wear those.
I've tried them, but he's
Yeah.
right, because I tried to go too hard, too quick with that type of shoe, and your foot's just not used to it.
Right, exactly, yeah. So, I mean, for some people it works out really well. They swear by them. Other people that come in can lead to pretty good fatigue in your foot. So then you're talking about over on this side more of a supportive shoe, something with a good arch support, a wider shoe, rounded off shoes. Maybe not the most high fashion of shoes, but at the same time, if you can if you can alter between those, I think it makes sense.
All right, Dr. Saeed,
Thank you
very much for coming in this morning. We certainly do appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.